Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Facebook page and the YouTube channel. I am Timeka Henkeman, and this is my channel. This is my Facebook page, The Anxiety Princess, where we're talking about everything that has to do with mental illness. So, firstly, I'd like to say thank you to my hubby who came onto the last episode. That episode is actually being viewed so many times. I am blown away, and I am actually hoping that I can convince him to come back. Please just, if you need him to come back, do some form of petition and let him know he needs to come back. I would love to have him back. But that video is doing really well, and I'm really glad that he decided to come and share his own experience with you guys. So today I put my camera the other way because I actually realized that when I upload the videos on YouTube, it's showing it cuts on the side. So let's see if I actually shoot this way, how it's gonna be. So if I'm missing my focal point here and there, just bear with me. We'll get the hang of this. But again, let me just say thank you to everybody who's new to the page. We got quite a few followers, and this is due to the fact that the previous video was actually shared quite a bit. And I challenged some of my friends to actually share the page. I honestly think this is the first thing that I am taking so seriously apart from me. Like, I've been actually asking myself, what is my talent? And if this is my talent, then obviously I need to work hard at it. So I'll be challenging you guys to actually share the page with people, share the links with people. And once we get to 500, either on YouTube or Facebook, I suppose we're closer on Facebook. If we get to 500, I will do a nice giveaway, a self-care giveaway basically. So I think that is motivation to actually just share the page a little bit with other people. Don't hold on the knowledge, share the knowledge with people out there. Honestly, this thing of this camera being like this is distracting me because I don't know where to look. So if it's a little bit distracting to you as well, I apologize. I really do apologize. We'll kind of get the hang of it as we go along. Cool. So we've kind of taken care of the admin. The admin being thank yous, welcome to the page, and I suppose to all the new people who joined us this week. We're now on episode 10. Initially it was supposed to be a 6-part series and then done, but obviously due to the amount of support that I've received and interaction from you guys, I decided, you know what, I still have quite a bit to share about mental illness, so I might as well keep the page a little bit longer. So that's basically what I'm doing. We don't know where we're going, but we have a plan, and hopefully God will give us some good direction on where we're supposed to go. So it's episode 10, and I know that I had said I was going to wrap up the relationship part that we were on Sunday, but that's not what I'm doing today. You see why I shouldn't announce what I'm going to do, because I announce and then I get some sort of inspiration and I'm like, okay. But you know what? We're still going to meet. We're still going to wrap up relationship nicely. And I just figured it would form much more part of talking about how basically my relationships have changed with my husband, with my friends, with family. So that will probably be just one episode on its own, which I won't say when I'm going to do it, because I can't keep doing this to you guys. Yeah, I tell you I'm going to talk about this and then I end up not talking about it. Cool. So I've been sharing quite a few content, blogging content, apart from the videos. So if you're a YouTube person, hop onto Facebook and actually check the other content that I'm posting. So I know once I spoke about maintaining a worry log or a journal of everything in order for you to actually be in a position to assess what is causing your triggers. And I'm giving you all this advice and everything, but you don't see me doing it. So I woke up and I realized we're on episode 10, and I was like, let me do something that I'm going to encourage each and every one of you to actually do as well. And I wrote a letter to my anxiety. So it's addressed, it says, to my anxiety, friend and monster, and a heart little thing there. So I have often found that written people who can't express themselves like to talk, it usually works for them when they express themselves on paper. So that's why I do encourage you to maintain a journal, to just jot down your emotions if you're not very good at actually talking about them and all that. So what I decided to do, I can express myself, but I was like, okay, cool, I can express myself, fair enough, but I haven't confronted my anxiety. Like you guys, I talked about things that work, things that didn't work, things I had to, but I haven't shared about how do I feel about my anxiety. So that's basically what I had decided to do, that I wrote this letter this morning. It's a hefty letter, guys. It's 7 pages if I'm not mistaken. Confronting my anxiety and coming more so as to why I'm saying it's a friend and a monster. So I wrote it down. I didn't go back to read it because I thought, let me read it to you. This is me pouring my heart out to let you guys know how I feel about my anxiety. This letter is addressed to my anxiety, my friend, and my monster. So, in this episode, it will be titled An Open Letter to My Anxiety. I do hope that you can take this in everyday situations. You can actually just, whatever emotion you're dealing with that you can't confront, whether it be loss, grief, anger, heartbreak, maybe just address a letter to it. And as I was writing this, more emotions kept on flowing, and I don't know if I felt better after I wrote it, but then I was like, wow, I'm confronting this intangible things because I can't physically touch my anxiety, but yet this thing has caused me so much pain and happiness. So I hope you guys don't mind. I am going to read it out to you, and I do encourage you to also partake in this exercise and actually jot down how you're feeling, how a certain thing made you feel, and what you basically learned out of it. So I don't know how long the video is going to be, but let's see how it's going to go. I can't keep promising these things. So I'll read the letter to you. So please, I do apologize by the fact that I'll be looking down quite a bit. So don't take offense. This will be the only time that way I'll be reading something in this manner. Obviously, I wrote it. I didn't go back to read it and to memorize it because that was not the whole point. So bear with me if I'm looking down, and I do apologize if it's distracting. Cool. To my anxiety, friend and monster. Hello, anxiety. I believe we have not been officially introduced. Funny, considering you have been a permanent resident in my life for nearly 2 years. So allow me to introduce myself. I am Tumeka Henkeman, but you might know me as Tumeka Moletsane, because that is who I was when we met. I was diagnosed with you and panic disorders in 2019, and from that day, my life completely changed. But this is not what defines me though. If you ask me to introduce myself, I would say I am a small town girl who has big dreams and strive for transformation wherever she goes. And I just love Snickers. I think that defines me in a better light. You came into my life unannounced and unprovoked. Or maybe I did provoke you. And you took over, and you made and you made a lot of decisions for me. From whether I was going to wake up to whether I would make it outside. What a bully you are. I have never confronted you before because you always managed to corner me into confusion. Neither have I been brave to take you on. On that night of the 17th of March 2019, when you came into my life, I thought you were passing by and was just there to remind me to take it easy. 1 year, 8 months later, you're still reminding me to take it easy, and you haven't left. I have never told you how you made me feel, but I think now I'm brave enough to do it. Firstly, you made me question my faith. I did not understand why God let this happen to me. I was convinced He has deserted me and was willing to see me suffer. I guess I would soon find out I was the chosen one. Secondly, you made me doubt I was worthy to be loved. After all, who would want to be with someone who's constantly gasping for air and scared of everyday situations? I was willing to let him go because I did not think he deserved to be part of my madness. I guess I would soon find out. If someone really loves you, they will stay no matter what. Thirdly, you created self-doubt. I did not know whether I was coming or going. I was so consumed in my own thoughts and created all these scenarios in my head, but neither of them ever panned out in my favor. You determined whether I was going to have a good day or a bad day. I would wake up thinking today is going to be a beautiful day, and you'd probably laugh at me because you would send a gushing feeling of warmth all over my body, and in no time I couldn't breathe. My heart would be pounding so hard, and from that moment on, I knew it would not be a good day. You left me in a state of confusion. I was permanently angry because why me? What have I done so wrong in my life to deserve this? Who have I wronged so much that this was the punishment I deserved? Weeks turned into months, and with each passing day, I could see my joy and happiness fade away because the fear of the unknown was just too much to bear. Sleep became a foreign thing because what if I sleep and never wake up? Going out and meeting friends became a foreign thing because what if I encounter a panic attack in their presence? Will they know what to do? I felt defeated. From one doctor appointment to the next, being poked, blood drawn, one machine to the next. You did not budge. You stayed. You allowed me no peace. What did I do to you? When the doctors told me that there was nothing wrong with me, then I was left in a deeper state of confusion. How can nothing be wrong with me, but I'm sick every day? I think that's when the real battle started for me. Because if nothing is physically wrong with me, then am I fighting the unknown? They kept telling me to take it easy and work on my emotions. What emotions though? Because I have a pretty good handle on those, or so I thought. Fighting you has required me to reach deep down and awake a beast that I didn't even know resided in me. I had to wake up and rebandage old wounds, which I thought have healed. I had to face my biggest fear, grief and loss. I had to forgive people who never even bothered to say they were sorry for my own healing journey. I had to say sorry to people whom I've hurt and to people who did not deserve it, just for my own healing. I had to revisit a lot of emotions I had buried and walk through that pain all over again in order to free myself from you. I cried and I begged you to leave me alone. I cried and I begged you to leave me alone because you had proved your point. That I was not immune to anything, but yet you stayed. When I was finally told that I have GAD with panic disorders, I felt the walls closing in on me. What was that even? I had such good control over my life. I was working overseas, engaged to the love of my life, and traveling the world. So now, how am I being diagnosed with mental illness when I have such a good handle on my life? You left me with a lot of unanswered questions, which I hope I'll be able to answer one day. I call you my monster and friend because I think we have such a love-hate relationship. There are days when I appreciate you, and there are days when I despise the day we met. You are my friend because you have woken up a beast in me that wants to fight every day. You keep my emotions in check, and I don't leave them unaddressed. You have made it possible for me to take my story to the world and wake up a dream that I didn't even know was possible. You keep me in check. You have saved me money because now I don't go out so often, just for my own sanity. You have held me accountable for my actions because I know sugar is bad for me. Stupid things, but valuable, I suppose. You have made me question my purpose in life. And now I know I want to leave a legacy in this world. I want the next generation to know and to remember my name and say, she stood up for the millions of people who battle with mental illness. You are a permanent resident in my life, occupying most rooms without paying rent. And that's okay. Strange, I can't imagine my life without you now. That is how much of a strong bond we have. And for that, I call you my friend. This letter does not sum enough how you have been a monster in my life. Each day, I am woken up by thoughts of whether I will have a panic attack or not. I can't forget you because the first thing I do daily is to wake up and take a pill in order to function. A constant reminder that you exist. While I swallow the pill, I'm always reminded that one day I'll have to make a decision of coming off the pill. I wonder how my life will be then. Will you stay away or come back full swing? I guess I'll have to wait and see. You are unpredictable. And that's one of the reasons we don't get along most days. I like order, and you don't. I like structuring my day, and you don't. You show up unannounced and you demand my attention. If I'm not fighting an attack, I'm fighting a headache, brain zaps, tingling sensations. I don't know if I have a choice in how I live my days, but we all need to start somewhere. This is the first of many letters I'll be writing to you. I need to confront you more and get some form of satisfaction on this messed up relationship that we have. I hope you'll appreciate this formal introduction I just gave you, because you didn't allow me to introduce myself in the beginning. And now I move on from my anxiety to my Facebook supporters and YouTube channel supporters. Thank you for welcoming me into your lives and allowing me to have a voice. Thank you for joining the mental health nation with me. We have a long way to go, but we'll get there. We'll walk the journey and pick up valuable lessons as we go along. I appreciate each and every one of you. To my husband, I feel like God knew I would need you when He created you. You fit all the specifications of what I would think an ideal husband is supposed to look like. Our first encounter in 2013 was you holding my hand in a team building exercise. Although you had my hand because we had an activity that we had to do, you never let go ever since. You pick up the pieces when I can't, and you put them all together. You allow me to go through the process with not a single form of judgment. You mend me when I'm broken, and you pray for me when I start to question God's purpose in my life. I love you, and I appreciate you. Thank you all for walking this journey of recovery with me. To myself, you're a warrior, fighter, and a survivor. Anxiety cannot break you. It can try, but probably will succeed at bending you. You have grown into such a defined and refined young woman in such a short space of time. I'm proud of you for not giving up even when mental illness was determined to take over your existence. You still smile and laugh despite having to fight all your symptoms day in and day out. You show up and you show off. You make me so proud to be stuck in your body and watching you fight and display resilience, patience, and strength at such great magnitude has been amazing to watch. They don't know the demons you fight, but you're now telling your story. You're above the season, and it will pass. But the lessons you learn from it will remain with you for the rest of your life. Share your story with the world. It needs to hear it. Someone out there is healing through you, so don't stop. This is your story, and you get to tell it your way. Sincerely yours, Anxiety Princess. That is my letter that I wrote. It it was actually more emotional to read it than to write it. Um, um, Anxiety took over my life in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways. Um, I know most of this channel up until this point, I have displayed signs of being strong, signs of actually getting a hold of my mental illness and knowing exactly what to do when something happened. But what I just shared with you is how I felt before I got a handle on it, how I feel now that I have a handle on it. I'd love to wake up one day and not take a pill, but I can't, because then I know I'm facing a day of constant panicking, a day of constant symptoms, a day of constant panic attacks. That pill reminds me each and every day that there's a monster that resides in me. When I protect myself from situations that are outside, those instincts remind me that there's a friend that resides in me and whose first reaction is to stay safe. So, when I tell you I have a love and hate relationship with my anxiety, there are days when I appreciate it. There are days when I hate it with a passion. I didn't choose this. It chose me. When I said I was the chosen one, I will soon find out that I was the chosen one. I think this is the purpose for why this thing landed in my life. To find this position where I'm willing to open up and share my story in order to help millions of people out there who don't know what to do. I was the chosen one because I honestly don't think when I talk, this is how I would talk if I was walking alone. But the grace and the presence of God and the fact that He wants me to do this is basically what's driving me to do this. If I ask you to share this page, and if each and every day you sing me and saying, please share, I have to do it because I believe this is my purpose. This is what I was destined to come and do in this life. And I accept it. I embrace it. I walk with it. In my letter, I said I can't imagine my life without having anxiety. It's painful. I don't wish it on my worst enemy. But I remember when I started getting sick, when I started experiencing panic attacks. On days when I didn't feel anything, it didn't feel like a normal day. On a day where I didn't have a headache or a constant reminder that I have anxiety, I sat there anticipating it because it didn't feel like a normal day. Because this thing has come in and it has taken over. And I was used to it. To share my story this way and to share the emotions that anxiety, probably this is the most I've opened up. This is the most I've opened up about how anxiety actually makes me feel. You may think that I talk about all these things on how to get a handle on it. Yes, I have had to teach myself that. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't wake up. If I didn't wake up and face my anxiety on a daily basis, I wouldn't be able to function. It's not an easy journey. It's not. But as the mental health nation, we all have a role to partake in this, to open up so that other people can feel free and comfortable to open up. I told you this channel was going to tackle things that nobody wants to talk about. I never knew I'd be so comfortable to talk about my anxiety. But reading this letter has been by far the most uncomfortable thing I've had to do in this journey. I just laid out my life, my feelings and emotions on a 7-page letter addressing something that's not even tangible. Addressing something that I can't physically touch, but that's tormenting and tormenting and tormenting me in ways that I can't even begin to tell you how it's tormenting me. I want to cry right now, but I won't. Because I cried so many times with this thing and asking it to please leave me alone. Asking it to please, not today. Not today. Not today. I just need a normal day, not today. I feel for people whose mental illness and whose anxiety has manifested into depression. I feel for people who are going through things such as bipolar disorders where you can't even control your emotions. My prayers go out to you. I hope in one way, shape or form, you find comfort, you find healing, you find knowledge, you find all the tools you need to fight each and every day. I know this is not the typical video when I'm giving you all the tools and the knowledge and all the things you need to fight. But I think today I felt as though I needed to share my emotions about how I feel about anxiety. I'm going on 2 years soon with this thing. And in all honesty, I don't know if there will be a day I will wake up and it will be gone. I don't know. I can only hope. But then, if it leaves, I need to go back and adjust to the life that does not have anxiety. And I don't know if I'm ready to do that either. Can you see? I've gotten used to it to such an extent that I wanted to stay. But can you hear that I'm negotiating with it on how it should reside in my life? I hope from this video, I hope that you learn to confront whatever you're going through. I don't know what you're going through. You might be on this page not through mental illness, but through other form. You might be on this page through loss, through grief. You might be on this page through the fact that you have lost hope, you've lost faith, you've lost your identity, you've lost your personality. I suggest you start by writing it all down. Maybe yours will be a 1-page. It's fine. Maybe yours will be a 20-page. It's fine. But I intend to turn this 7-pager into a book one day. Because I feel as though the world needs to hear my story. And the world needs to hear your story as well. This has been by far the most fulfilling video I've ever shot. And this is video 10, but this is the most fulfilling. Because now you get to see that as much as I have a handle on it, it doesn't mean I'm fine with it. I'm not. There are aspects of it that still torment me today. And it's okay. It's okay. There's a reason for everything. And there's a greater purpose that we're trying to find in this life. And maybe I've found mine. and maybe mine is what I'm doing now. So I think today I'll leave it there. This video is a little bit hard. I honestly thought the men versus emotion video was as far as emotional as we're gonna get, but I think this one has just drained everything out of me. This is not all the emotions I wish I could have shared, but as I said, this is the first of many letters I'll be writing to my anxiety. But this was merely an introduction. I was introducing myself to my anxiety because it took over my life without my permission. I hope you learn how to confront whatever you're going through. And I hope that confrontation, you feel better in one way or another. I think I'll leave it there today. Usually I think I end my videos on a happy note, but I'm not happy. Right now I'm not happy. I'm sad. I'm really sad. Because there's someone out there who's fighting mental illness, but they don't even know how to do it. But they're trying. Continue to fight. Eventually, what is meant to be will eventually reveal itself, and you will know why this thing has been placed in your life. I hope you will have a great Wednesday. Let me work on my emotions right now. But I hope you learned something, and I hope you'll have a beautiful day. Bye.